the all-new 2021 Kia Sorento X-Line, and I left that week really liking this vehicle. This year, we're driving the 2022 Kia Sorento X-Line, so let's get into it. All right, before we touch on this one specifically, let's quickly talk about the trim levels offered with the Sorento. There are quite a few, and there are some new ones for 2022. First, you have the LX as the bottom line trim, then the S, and then you have an X-Line S, which is a new trim for 2022. Then you have the EX and the X-Line EX, again, new trim for 2022. Then you have the SX, the SX Prestige, and the XS Prestige X-Line, which is what we're driving here. The top of the line you can get with the Sorento. So again, last year when we drove the X-Line, is basically the same, the Prestige, the top of the line, but now you can get the X-Line in two other trims, which basically gives them the all-wheel drive options, the exterior styling, and the extra ground clearance. We'll talk about that as we talk about the exterior, which we'll do right now.
The Sorento we had last year was Aruba Green, which I liked a lot. This one is Wolf Gray. Don't like quite as much, but it still looks good on this vehicle. Up front here we have the modernized Tiger Nose grille with the new I-line DRL details, and it's a wide grille extending into the headlights and hood structure. We have the X-Line front and rear bumper fascias, the matte trim accents, the distinct LED lighting for style and enhanced visibility. We have 20-inch matte finished alloy wheels. The X-Line gives you increased ground clearance for better off-road performance. This is a 1-inch increase in ride height, improved approach and departure angles. So total we have 8.2 inches of ground clearance. Our approach angle is 18.4 degrees and departure angle is 23.3 degrees. All solid numbers. We also do have the roof rack rails for increased cargo carrying. And of course we have the smart key with remote start and cabin preheating and cooling.
Let me take a quick break from this review to say something that I don't say enough. Thank you guys, everybody who has subscribed to the channel. The channel is steadily growing and I love it. We've had a lot of success in the last couple of years. And again, I don't say it enough, but thank you guys for subscribing to the channel, liking the videos, watching the videos, commenting on the videos. We obviously don't have any sponsors for you to check out or anything like that. So I definitely wanted to take a chance to give you guys a shout out because without you, obviously we wouldn't be doing it. Back to the video.
All right guys, and let's quickly talk about the cargo. Now this is a hands-free lift gates, or you can pop it with the button down here under this lip. Automatic popping. And as you can probably see, it's not a ton of room behind that third row. This is a smaller crossover. You are looking at 12.6 cubic feet behind that third row. So again, pretty tight, but you can fold that third row down and get 38.5 cubic feet behind the second row, or you can fold the second row down and get a total of 75.5 cubic feet in the Sorento. And with that, let's go ahead and close it up and we'll move on to the front of the vehicle and check out what's under the hood. All right, and under the hood here, we have the same setup that we had in the 2021 that we drove last year. It is the 2.5 liter turbocharged engine. It pushes 281 horsepower, 311 foot-pounds of torque, matched up to an 8-speed dual clutch automatic transmission, and has a towing capacity of 3,500 pounds with the tow package. All right, with that, let's close it up and move inside. All right guys, and we're here in the second row captain's chairs. Very nice place to be in this vehicle. I did already fold the third row down, so I'm not going to torture myself by trying to climb back there and show you guys. I don't really fit back there. It is a smaller 3-row SUV. If you want something that's big enough for adults, you'll probably want to get something a bit bigger like the Telluride. But for kids, the kids fit back there. We did take this thing out with the whole family, fit everybody in here. Kids fit in the back seats just fine. But again, when you do have that third row up, you're losing a lot of cargo volume. So kind of depends on what you're buying this for. But that's not to take away from the third row and the fact that this thing is a 3-row vehicle. I really like the fact that it is. But up here in the second row, we are in the captain's chairs. They are really nice and comfortable, just as nice as the front interior. You've got USB charging on the sides of the seats. You got your own vents here. You've got your own charging plugs down at the bottom of this console. You've got nice cup holders. These are heated seats. So a lot to like about this second row. And definitely, if you are hauling around some other adults, having adults back here, no issues. With that, let's go ahead and move to the driver's seat, check out the rest of the interior and the tech in here, and then we'll take it for a drive. Okay, so here in the front seats, we'll take a look at the rest of the interior, starting off with the seats themselves. These are leather seats, super nice, love the brown color. They are 3D embossed with perforated leather, heated and cooled seats. They're super comfortable to sit in all just really nice for this Sorento package. And that brown leather continues on the doors. You also get some nice brushed aluminum materials and some nice ash wood looking materials. All the materials together I think work really well and look good here in this interior. We do have the Bose premium audio system here in this SX Prestige as well. But let's go ahead and kick it on so you can see everything. Which first off is this 10.25-inch widescreen touchscreen display. Super nice, has Apple CarPlay and Android Auto integrated. Same basic setup that we had in the previous year, but it is a really nice system. Below that are all your AC and heat controls, and you can see your vents here. You do have a cubby back here with 3 USB Type A charging ports. One of them interfaces with the infotainment system. There are a total of 8 USB chargers in all 3 rows. But of course, if USB charging isn't your thing, you can do wireless charging. We do have a wireless charging pad down here. And then on either side is your heated seat and cooled seat options. Moving back is your traditional gear shifter. Put it into reverse. We do have a nice backup camera, as well as a full 360 top down. This isn't a huge SUV, but it's always nice to have good visibility for parking or off-roading. Behind the gear shifter is your drive mode select. So you have eco mode, you have a snow mode, you have a comfort mode, a sport mode, and smart mode. And then you can hit the center button here to lock your center diff. A little bit back from there, you have your heated steering wheel button. So we do have a heated steering wheel here. Auto hold, hill descent control, toggling off your automatic shutdown, quick button for your cameras and your parking sensors. And really quickly, the console is nice and plush, and you do have a lot of space down there to store stuff. But let's go ahead and move on to that steering wheel. So it is a nice leather steering wheel. Like I said, heated steering wheel. You've got your function buttons on either side. We do have paddle shifters back here. All in all, good steering wheel, good placement. And then behind the steering wheel is a 12.3-inch driver information display. You can toggle through different things to see here. And as you change driving modes, it does change. Very clean, nice displays. Very easy to read, which is always a plus. All right, I think it's time to get this thing out on the road. We'll talk about how it drives and how it is on road, as well as a little bit of off-road. And then we'll talk about some of the pricing and competition out there, and then we'll wrap the video up. Let's keep going. So first thing, driving the 2022 Kia Sorento X-Line it's exactly the same as the 2021 X-Line that I drove. It's very comfortable. It's a nice ride, nice and smooth, has good suspension. Of course, that 2.5 liter turbocharged engine has some pretty good pickup, so it gets up and goes when you need it to. The 8-speed transmission is decent. Not my favorite, but it's decent. But just as a day-to-day driver, the cockpit, the driver sitting is very nice. Touching everything, navigating around, any of the buttons done very easily, especially if you're halfway familiar with Kia's setups. We do have that sport mode, which engages a little bit more. We can push into corners a bit harder. Brakes are pretty nice coming into a sweeping corner. There's some body lean, but not a ton. And then again, that 2.5 turbo pushing us out of the corners, very nice. Going back into the corners. And that's not what this vehicle is built for. It's not a sporty SUV, but it does handle corners nicely. We do have Kia's DriveWise system, which adds a bunch of safety in here. We do have the adaptive all-wheel drive with lock mode, so taking this off-road can be done. And of course you have drive modes for all of that. Putting it into comfort quietens everything down, gives you a more comfortable suspension once again. With this engine setup in the all-wheel drive, you're looking at a 22 mile per gallon city rating, 27 highway, with a combined averaging around 24. During the full week that we've had this thing, we've been averaging just over 20 miles per gallon, which I think is pretty decent considering we let it idle as we're taking pictures and video. We pushed it a little bit harder than normal while testing it out. So that's pretty good in my eye. Overall, the new Sorentos are really nice vehicles to be in, really nice vehicles to drive. If you're using this as a day-to-day driver, which you probably are, there's no reason to get it for anything else. It's good for road trips, it's good with the family, it's good for going to the grocery store, it's good for short runs. It's just an all-around good vehicle. With that, let's pull back over, talk about the price and competition, and then we'll wrap the video up. All right guys, so after that drive, it drives really nice. I think it looks nice, interior nice, tech nice. How much does this thing cost? Well, if you're looking at a base Sorento, you're looking at $29,590, so basically $30,000, which I haven't really been in a base Sorento, but I think that's a really great option for a 3-row SUV. This SX Prestige X-Line has a base price of just over $43,000, and the full MSRP with a few options that we have and destination charges comes out to be just over $45,000. So that puts it in line with a lot of really great vehicles, including the Toyota Highlander, the Jeep Grand Cherokee L, the Ford Explorer, and the Hyundai Santa Fe. But I definitely like this package. I definitely like the looks here. So is that $45K worth it? Let's jump out. I'll give you some of my final thoughts and we'll wrap up the video. All right, so after a full week of driving the X-Line Sorento last year, I came away from that review really liking the vehicle. Now here in 2022, I'll have to agree with my first assessment. I think the Sorento X-Line is a really great looking vehicle, has great tech in it, and is very capable, and is a great day-to-day driving vehicle. And even with that $45K price tag, I think it's definitely worth the money, and anything under that is definitely worth it. I'd really love to drive that X-Line and see how that stacks up, but we'll have to wait on that. If you want to enjoy the ride with me, and you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up button on this video, but also take the time to go check out TXGARAGE.com, where we have a lot of other reviews, written reviews from a lot of great authors over there, as well as event and news coverage. But with that, guys, thanks for watching.